if you are in the States. Good evening if you are in Europe, or good night even, or good tomorrow if you are in Australia, Korea, or that part of the world. And yeah, welcome to part two in a series I did not know I would do about uh, Austin Harrouff, or however it is pronounced, the Florida, one of the Florida face-eating murderers. Monday we saw the victim statements when they found out that the court had accepted the plea of temporary insanity, and now Mr. Harrouff is in a mental asylum, state-appointed mental asylum of sorts. But the victim statements were very powerful, and it contained a lot of information I I didn't know. One thing that stuck out was that the victim's advocate, which of they had several over the years, and who apparently simply did not care. So I'm trying to find out more about that. Then we found out, then we read about the uh, temporary insanity evaluation, which was interesting because it was, as we then found out from the judge, I believe, that evaluation were more or less reading through papers and then sitting down with Mr. Heath for an hour or a few hours. And yeah, it was interesting. So I decided let's make, because as you might have seen, I changed the thumbnail for that video from the more clickbaity stuff you saw in today to a more respectful towards the victims. And yeah, it took me a bit by surprise, because I was expecting more or less 2 hours of boring legal mumbo jumbo we could make fun of, but it did not turn out that way. So today we will be watching a few of the Prisoncell-Calls that was referred to in the victim statements, and we are going to watch the interview with Dr. Phil that apparently took place only days later. So knowing that Dr. Phil asked for and got that interview, I have heard of grifting before, but that on the face of it sounds like it was distasteful. But we will see. And I have lined up for a later day the interview with the parents. But that will be for a later day, because I don't want to punch my screen too much. But first, some of the regular things, a bit of grifting. First of all, if you're not new here, you know that I don't ask for super chats. I appreciate them, but I don't ask for them. I will probably read interesting stuff from the chat anyways. And if you have anything, then it is to the Sakura Anderson's Gives and Go I ask for. And anything else? Well, I have a PayPal. If you don't want to see your money get sliced in more or less half from you to me, you have a PayPal, and that is pinned on the top of the chat. And what else? Well, you have this, getlawcards.com/Niklas. That is law cards. And with your favorite law tubers doing interesting stuff with there are some QR codes which will take you to that. It's a collector's item of sorts. So that was the obligatory give me cash or something. Now, what I prefer is memberships, because memberships, it's $3 a month. It highlights you in the chat. There are videos in the member sections on YouTube with videos only for members, and which I'm going to add on to a bit more when I have the time for it. For instance, the members were the ones who named Hugo, my chili plant. And then Solomon Anderson named Gertrude, my other chili plant. So these are some of the perks that are available. If I find things you can name, I might I might do that again, because that was fun. Yeah, and then of course, streaming is about analyzing, commenting, criticism, snark, beverage, stuff like that. Fair use, so don't come for me, whoever has the videos I'm going to play for you. There. Okay, now I think we are done with... Audra Smithy became a new YouTube member. Thank you so much. I think you have been a member before, so maybe this is for updating for another month. Either way, thank you so much, Audra. Yeah, let's go into what you are all here for, and what I promised you. And yeah, that is Jailhouse Calls. So let's see here what will be said here. All ready? Yeah.
I'm scared about the future.
As time passes, you'll hear what appears to be Austin Harrouff
news report.
transitioning while in jail.
It just sucks. I know what. I just want to be a normal kid again.
Harrouff is the teenager accused of ambushing and killing Martin County couple John Stevens and Michelle Mishcon last year. Deputies found him chewing on the flesh of one of his victims. In the first several calls, he's often crying, afraid about his future. But throughout, he tries to keep up normal conversation, often making small talk, like here, a few weeks down the line when he's talking to his dad about diet and exercise.
That would be good for you, because then you're not getting all the calories throughout the day. And once you get used to it, it's easy.
But then there's a noticeable change.
Said, yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Is it?
In the most recent phone calls, you can hear Austin appear to be making odd noises and sounds.
Anything to make you laugh, sweetie.
Sorry. Is it?
Things he wasn't doing during the first several weeks in jail.
What, baby?
Did you like seeing me yesterday?
Austin, absolutely. I wish I could be with you every day. Yep.
That didn't tell me much. It was a news report. I'll try to... I have others lined up. But the few seconds we heard, he didn't seem to be very... not talking about the victims or the coming court case. Yeah, I don't know. What do you say, folks? Anything to add? Or shall we go directly on to the next one? Is this also a new support? Let's go to this instead. Oops. And unmute.
Please hold. Please wait while your call is being connected. This is a call from
Austin Harrouff.
an inmate at the Martin County Jail.
Hello?
Hey, Austin.
Hey, Dad.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay.
I'm real proud of you. How you didn't
What?
answer any questions.
I'm proud of you? That's weird. That was quite weird, but okay.
Yeah. Well,
You're good.
how are you doing?
I'm all right.
Can you
I've
put
got
money in my
another lawyer. I got two
commissary
lawyers
account?
now. Huh?
Can you put money in my commissary account?
Yeah, I can.
Can you do it soon?
Yeah, didn't the Bob do 200?
Did he?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how's
The first thing, I need money, Daddy. That was weird. Well, not really, but can you send me money, Daddy? At this moment, he is what, 19, 20? Well, I guess kids that age, but he's in jail for murder. That's weird.
life?
It's tough on us, Austin. We're not used to this.
Am I gonna be okay?
Yeah, you're going to be okay.
Is everyone scared?
Yeah. But no, we're pretty confident that we can pull something off here.
Yeah. How's
Are they
Jupiter?
taking care? Are you taking your medicines?
Yeah, I'm taking my medicine.
What it comes down to is I got you two lawyers, and
Is
we're going
Bob
to
gonna
do the
quit?
best we can.
What?
Huh?
Is
I
Bob
got you
quitting?
two lawyers, and we're going to do the best we can. It's looking better.
Is Bob gonna quit?
No,
He's not? Okay.
I don't think so. No. Did he tell you he was?
He said he might, but drop the case. Just hard adjusting to the jail.
I know you need you need to get a Bible, Austin.
I know. I asked for one.
I don't think a Bible will help him very much, if I'm honest. But Dad actually got him two lawyers. Now, one lawyer is expensive. Two lawyers. That would be, give or take, if they get him lawyers in the level of, for instance, the Depp versus Heard, then you're talking about between $400 to $600 an hour per lawyer. So two lawyers. Let's round it up to $1,000 per hour. They will not work under, and this was 6 years ago, but I've also heard that they changed lawyers quite a bit. The original lawyers on either side did not go through with it. But that is a very large amount of money. But I guess Mr. Wade Harrouff is Checking here. Wade Harrouff at worth. Okay, he's a doctor. Oh, he's a dentist in Florida. That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But I can't, on the face of it, see how. Let's go into and see verbatim. Now they're just talking about. No, we don't know, but he is quite wealthy. So, yeah, hiring 2 lawyers, paying for them for the duration. Yeah, probably not expensive, but apparently he could afford it. So, yeah. Which brings me to realize that probably if that kid had been anyone else, he would be in jail and prison. You get the defense you pay for. A Babel can't hurt, although the small pocket. Yeah, okay, yeah. You never know what they want them for. Yeah, let's continue to see what else.
Do you have one?
Are you getting me a therapist or anything?
Yes, I plan on it.
Can you do it soon?
Have you talked to your mama yet?
I tried to, but she didn't answer, so I'm going to call her after.
Well, let me call her first and tell her to wait on your call, okay?
Okay.
When you going to call her?
Like right after you call her, so maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, she'll like that. Everything's going to be all right. I mean, don't worry about nothing. We're going to get through this.
Okay. Anything new on the news? Not about me, but anything new in the outside world?
Yeah, there's a hurricane coming.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to Tampa.
You are?
Yeah, I'm going to put my boat up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dentist has both.
When are you going?
Still affords 2 lawyers. Okay, we are
Here about
talking
1 o'clock.
Net worth at least.
So did Bob tell you for sure he's going to quit, or he might?
He said he might.
That's not
Is
very
that
good
bad?
to tell you. Huh?
Is that bad?
No. Hey, man, it's not bad. Might be good.
I like him now.
I'm upset with him for telling you that.
It's okay.
But I'll promise you this: I'll have you another one,
Okay.
and I'll have you better ones.
Okay.
I'll never give up on you.
Okay.
Okay, but that's
I promise. Okay.
That's a dad thing to say.
All right.
You listen, Austin. You got to stay strong here now.
I know.
It's the toughest thing you've ever done.
I know.
But you got to stay strong.
I'm just adjusting.
I know it's going to be hard to adjust, but you'll get used to it. And we'll get the best thing we can do to. Huh?
Do you know how long I'm going to be here?
I don't know how it works yet, but hopefully we can get you into a mental place.
Yeah.
As time goes on.
Yeah.
That's what the first step is.
You think they can?
Yes, I do. I definitely do, Austin.
Okay.
And you did a good job not talking to those evil people.
How's the
What?
house?
Oh, What did he say?
And you did a good job not talking to those evil people.
How's the house?
Is he talking about the cops as evil people? Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think the cops on the scene or the cops who interrogated, especially not the cops on the scene, were especially evil to this kid because they didn't shoot him. And I can say reasonably certainly that if I was a cop there and saw someone eating on some, that would be 2 fast bullets in the side of the head. Remove the threat completely. Huh. Maybe he will be more thorough with who he's talking about as evil. Yeah, but so he just want to motivate his son to not to. Yeah, but evil people. That's an interesting description. I don't think that's normal to say. I know what you mean, Mads, but I don't think calling them evil people are a good way. Thank you.
Huh?
How's the house?
I sold the house. I live in my condo now.
Yeah, I know. How is it?
I like it. I like it.
You unpack everything?
I know I haven't unpacked. I've been seeing you every night for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's time for me to start unpacking.
Yeah. Well,
But I'll never give up on you, buddy. I'll spend whatever it takes to get you out of there. Okay?
Okay.
I love you, bud.
I love you too.
Okay, that was the second jailhouse call. Yeah. I'm finding a bit more other interesting videos. I'm not sure how I will take. Just because this face eater is truly evil, I can still think independently of him that cops are effed up in their own level of evil and not to be trusted. Yeah, I understand, but the phrasing is still odd to me. Not talking to the cops comes naturally for me, as I've been in the law business for a while. But the phrasing of it sounds odd. Sounds really odd. He's lying about liking the condo. Yeah, yeah, that was quite obvious. No, I haven't played Dr. Phil yet. I'm trying to saving that for that would be the last video I play. I don't find many good prison cell. It's either news reports or stuff like that. But what happened? Share screen, share screen. Is it that one? Yes. I find one good one after your stream. I will try. Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. I did find. Let's see here. I have one more here. Let's see if that gives us more insight. Okay, let's find. Doesn't cover it completely, but almost. 2:38.
Killer. Tonight, more jailhouse phone calls between Austin Harrouff and his parents.
The college student charged with the vicious murders of a Martin County couple.
Megan McRoberts continues our coverage tonight of the story we broke at 5 o'clock. She's at the Martin County Jail. Megan?
Michael Kelly, Austin Harrouff's first phone calls came from the medical wing of the Martin County Jail. From there, he talked to his parents about how he was recovering from his own injuries he sustained that night of the August 2016 attacks. He also made very specific requests for items he wanted family members to bring him to help him pass time while he was in jail.
Just want to go outside and be with you guys.
Austin, I know. Be strong. Be strong, okay?
Only days after he was booked into jail, an emotional Austin Harrouff spoke to his mother.
This is the hardest thing I've ever been through.
This is going to be the hardest thing I don't think anyone's ever gone through.
She and her boyfriend asked Austin how he was doing.
How are your hands feeling? They're feeling better. I'm getting used back to them. They're still a little shaky.
In conversations with his father, Austin asked for specific things.
Can you send me a lot of magazines?
Yeah, I'll see what kind of magazines you want.
Like Muscle magazines, Time magazines, just magazines you think I'd like.
He later asked for a journal and an easy-to-read Bible and a therapist.
I need one so bad.
His parents get a glimpse of the isolation Harrouff is subjected to.
Did they let you out of your cell?
Hardly. Not really.
At this point, Austin was already charged with 2 counts of murder and attempted murder. On August 15th, deputies found Austin biting off part of John Stevens' face. He and his wife, Michelle, were dead. Deputies say Harrouff also brutally attacked their neighbor, Jeff Fisher, who tried to intervene. Austin's father assured him he'll do anything to make his jail stay as short as possible.
Am I going to be okay?
Yeah, you're going to be okay. I'm going to hire 2 lawyers. I'm going to get the best lawyer I can buy. Because I love you, buddy.
Love you too.
Austin's parents also told him that they were so proud of him because he did not speak publicly to anyone about this case, including the media, as we were here trying to get answers from him when he was escorted to jail. Toxicology results showed he did not have any mind alteration.
Okay, it might not have been cops then they refer to, but media. Then I understand the phrasing more, because they can be a bit annoying when they want answers. Yeah. If it's that they are proud, the F. Yeah, also weird phrasing. Weird phrasing.
Drugs in his system at the time of the killings, but his attorneys have gone on the record saying he does suffer from mental illness. Reporting live in Martin County, I'm Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
Okay, we didn't learn much more from that either. Yeah, that might be, because what we have learned about is that from Mondays, when they one of the sisters read out a few of the texts, or few, it is months and months and months of text to friends about I'm so high, I'm so drunk, I blacked out, yada, all the time. That cannot have been unnoticed by the parents. And just allowing it to keep going. The classmates, the school must have noticed. there's a lot of people who failed the victims, and in some weird way also failed him by not getting him help, especially the parents. But as we found out, it seems like mom and dad was divorced and mom had a boyfriend. So might be a case of I'm going to bribe him to love me more. I don't know. That was weird. Then the next thing I have in line is the MCSO deputy gives account of Austin Harrouff. That is what I have lined up here. Just a second. There. But we know the difference between babying our kids to the point of allowing bad behavior and trying to support a child enough to keep him from unaliving himself. Yeah. And something from Monday that also caught my attention was at the restaurant before everything happened. The dad punched him in the face. And probably set most of this in motion. What happened later? It might be. And the people that Austin Harrouff was trying to kill might be his parents. Let's see here. Sea Swept. Hey. I have only heard this. There he sounds cognitively delayed, but then how was he still in college and why big him a big, very big knife? That is seriously weird. That he... Why? Why buy this massive knife to a kid who is totally irresponsible? There's drug-induced schizophrenia and also brain damage not unnoticed. Yeah, that also a bit of a theory of mine that is it temporary? I don't know the laws in Florida, but if you actively drug yourself into this temporary insanity, is that really a defense? I'm not sure I would count that as a defense if you actively put yourself into that psychosis. But that's just a theory I have. Please feel free to say I'm wrong or right or anything, but it is weird. Let's go on to the next, and this has a warning. So I don't think you, my audience, needs it, or the chat, mates, friends, people I haven't met yet. But just in case.
I saw a huge giant trail of blood, probably 8 feet wide, 6 feet wide. I ran up the driveway.
Well, this is one of the guys who didn't shoot Austin.
And Grace was standing right here, pointing a gun down to the ground. I saw a male lying on his back on an angle in front of the car, this direction. And I saw another male on what they call like a side mount grappling pole. He had his legs intertwined, his arm wrapped around the male, and he had his fingers like a fish hook in his mouth, pulling his face off, trying to pull his cheek apart.
Was he saying anything?
Why didn't you shoot?
I pop him in the back. My countdown on my taser started at 5, 4, 3, 2. When it hit 2, I realized it's not working. I yanked my cartridge off. I shocked myself. ran back around Gracie on this side, and then I kicked him in his head, trying to get him off of the mat.
Let me stop and interrupt you. During this time that you were here, did you ever see Gracie utilize her taser?
No.
Okay.
She was at gunpoint.
Okay.
I kicked him in his head. Head came off for a second, and he went right back in and took a deeper grapple hold.
That shoot.
I started stomping on his head in that fashion, trying to get his head off the guy's neck.
Shoot
get
him.
Off of him.
Did you have similar boots on?
All
Kind of,
this
yes.
happens, and
The male was laying on the ground, and he said a couple of words. Very calm, very soft. Help me get him off.
36 minutes in, I'm
Said it probably
using
2 or 3
curse words.
times.
This stream will not
Didn't want
be
Gracie
monetized.
taking a shot the way he was grappled up into him. There was no good shot. It would have went into him, into the victim. I kicked the male probably about 6 or 7 times in the head.
Yeah. He was with his family in a restaurant. He acting strange, and apparently his father took him by the hair and punched him in the face of sorts. I'm not exactly certain, but that was what when I watched earlier this year the Casual Criminalist podcast. That was the series of events. But yeah. But why I don't understand. There are 2 officers there with actual guns watching a guy eating from a man who is seriously injured, and nobody shoots. Why? Wasn't he black enough? Jesus.
Kick, but stomps on his head trying to get his head off. Of course, the canine showed up. I don't remember if he came on that side or he came around. I believe he came up this way. Turned around, had him, the dog pointed. He said, "I'm going to release the dog." We're all yelling, "Get off of him, get off of him." He didn't get off. Canine released the dog. The suspect had his fingers in his mouth. The dog grabbed his arm, pulled it off. The suspect ripped it out of the dog's mouth and went in for a deeper hold. Canine pulled back, said again, releasing the dog. He released the dog a second time.
We are talking
thing,
about
his arm.
as this description. Now, this might have gone a lot faster, but you're still up to him walking around. There is already a cop there, pointing gun, doing jack shit. He comes around, taste, doesn't work. Now we are talking about at least 15 to 20 seconds. Then you angle your gun. If he is on the side, you tell the put they did taste him. It didn't work. But yeah, there are always ways, afraid of shooting the victim. I understand that. But then you angle your gun away from the victim. One dead, one barely alive, person eating from his face. Yeah.
Pulled it back, and ripped it out of the dog's mouth again. I was here, canine pulled off, I came in again, I gave him 3 or 4 more boot kicks to the head. At the same time, I pulled out my handcuffs, 1 more boot to the head. His head came off of his shoulder, and I was able to stop him now, where he banged his head against the concrete, stunned him. At that point, his arm came out, and I knew it got stunned. I smacked the cuff on his hand, grabbed it, and I yanked him and pulled him to here. Where his head was now this way, his feet were this way. I spun him over. Umbrella, I call him, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Grabbed his
Is that your training?
left arm, yes, the training. Grabbed his left arm. We were able to put the second cuff on. He was pretty stocky, so he had to pull out his set of cuffs, so we had to use double cuffs on him. I backed off, holding the cuffs. I told the trainee, run in, check on her. He ran in, checked her pulse, and he gave me a shake of the head no. He came back out, told dispatch a couple of times, get fire rescue in here, possibly 2 signal 7s. And I told Umbrella to go get shackles, and we shackled him so he wouldn't fight. When I finally was able to separate him, he was yelling, "I'm eating people, kill me."
The suspect was saying that?
Screaming.
And that's before he was handcuffed or as he was?
As I finally was pulling him off of him, he was screaming, "Kill me! I'm eating people! Kill me!" Very loud. And I was able to drag him over here.
So some form of conscious. He was aware enough that what he was doing was wrong. Yeah, I'm eating people, kill me. But at this point, with a head stomp, dog, everything, we are talking about more than a minute. Maybe to defend a cop. In that situation, you have never seen anything like this before. How do you react? Nobody will know. And this was his reaction. It's easy for me to sit here to say, why didn't they shoot him, and give you alternatives. But yeah, my opinion is get rid of the threat as soon as possible, immediately. Well, it didn't. He describes 5 or more head stomps. I don't know why there is no body cam. Maybe it's well, body cam would have been quite. It was probably by order of the court, I would assume. Let's keep.
Both able to secure him. I believe DeQuesta even helped us secure him. Because there were 2 DeQuesta cops, so one couldn't because he was holding Kano.
The male victim was speaking when you first got here?
The victim was lying on the ground, just lethargic, and I seen a slit from under his arm to his waist, 7-8 inches wide. I seen his ribs. I seen a huge hole on this side, and both of them, the suspect and victim, were.
Did you see the suspect fighting him at any time?
Yes. The suspect, when I got here, like I said, was in a full grapple, and the suspect had his neck and head right here on the victim's neck, and he was chewing on his cheek, and I see big rips in the.
Was he just chewing, or was he like tearing like a dog, or
tearing like a dog?
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you say he was tearing at him,
Tearing.
or was he chewing at him?
He had a piece of his cheek, and he was trying to rip it off, like trying to rip a piece of meat.
Okay. While you were here, did you see any dogs?
When I ran up, as I ran up the vehicle that was in the driveway door was open, and there was a dog sitting inside the front passenger seat. I noticed that with keys, I believe on the floorboard of the vehicle, there was a puddle of blood on the floorboard and some blood on the driver's seat.
do you remember the door being open of the car?
The driver door was open of this car, okay, and there was a dog sitting in the seat. After we sat back, I walked past him. It was a black dog. I was actually startled because he was just sitting there.
Did you see a knife on the ground?
Yes. When the victim was lying on the ground, his arms were kind of like a C shape. There was a blade opened up here underneath his right arm.
Hi, Wendy.
I don't remember. For some reason, it's telling me it had a red handle on it. But there was a blade underneath his right arm. There was a scissor sitting over here. And I believe inside the garage, there was an Adirondack chair sitting here with a screwdriver.
Yes, a neighbor tried to intervene but was forced away. Apparently, he was quite injured as well by knife wounds. Carlene is here. Hi, good to see you. The Prisoncell-Calls I found was not really that interesting. This deputy account is more interesting.
On one of the armrests, I believe. But I know for a fact there was a scissor there, and under the victim's right in the C-section here was an open knife.
Okay, that was that. Sometimes they have interesting. Ooh, let's see here. The victim's neighbor recounts encounter with Austin Harrouff. So let's watch this, and after this, I think we can go into the Dr. Phil interview. So we get, again, content can be disturbing.
How far into the garage did you come?
Right there.
Okay, and when you were running up, did you see anything?
He was standing sort of like this, and not that I actually saw Michelle laying here, because I just knew that she was there from seeing that from over there. He was standing her and basically standing over the top of her at the time.
Okay, so she was lying on the ground.
Yes.
Okay, then what was the next thing that happened?
That's when I got to be right there.
Okay.
He turned and looked at me and said, "You want no part of this, you want no part of me, one of the two." And then from his right hand swung, and I was standing kind of like this, and whether I went to block or whatever, that's when he caught me there the first time.
Okay, with his fist.
With his right hand.
Okay.
And could only presume that there was a knife, not that I ever saw the knife, but presume that he had a knife in his right hand at that time, because that's the first hand that he swung at me.
Okay, were you cut here?
Yeah, right
Okay.
there, and then several on my back.
Okay, so he hit you with his hand, And what happened next?
We then got into the little pitter-patter fight thing. It's not like, we were really truly going toe-to-toe. He was swinging, I was blocking, whatever the case may have been, because we're standing right here. In the meantime, I was able to get a hold of his shirt. When I yanked him like that, he lost his balance and he went down to the ground right there face first. At that particular point in time was when I realized, because when I threw my head, I could see blood, and I saw blood on the ground, and started doing this, and said, my God, he's cutting. So he was still laying on the ground, and then at that particular point in time is when I went that way, because there was a couch here.
Right.
There was the only way to get out of the garage at the time would have been to go through him or over him. Therefore, the door was open just like it is now.
Take us through the avenue that you went then.
Come on, can we stop right there? Let's just stop right there.
Okay. There should be more. Yeah. Here is the Harrouff parents interviews. That will be on a later date in a part 3. Oh, deputy explains why he didn't shoot Harrouff. That will be interesting.
We broke this story last night after the Super Bowl.
For the first time, we got a chance to hear from the Good Samaritan who tried to save the lives of his 2 neighbors from the man now known as the face-biting killer.
And tonight, News Channel 5's Megan McRoberts continues her exclusive reporting. She has obtained video of one of the first deputies on the scene telling his story. Megan.
That deputy described a relentless murder suspect, Austin Harrouff, unfazed by a taser, canine, and kicks to his head. Still, deputies decided not to shoot him, and that deputy explains why.
I saw a huge, giant trail of blood.
This Martin County deputy is reliving each second of his encounter with Austin Harrouff.
And Grace was standing right here, pointing a gun down to the ground.
Grace is a fellow deputy that he told not to shoot when he says Harrouff was attacking John Stevens.
Based on the angle of the shot, what I saw, I told to stop. There was no good shot. It would have went into him, into the victim.
The deputy described Harrouff holding on to Stevens.
He had his legs intertwined, his arm wrapped around the male, and he had his fingers like a fish hook in his mouth, pulling his face off, trying to pull his cheek apart. He was grounded.
Okay, so this we have already seen. So that one. So he didn't shoot because in that angle that she had, she would have hit the victim too. But then you can always change the angle, can't you? As the cop there described it, he was holding on and biting here. That means his head was here somewhere. There is an angle. Just saying. There is an angle you can take. Just my opinion. Oh, I got a new link from Corn Pulp. I will. Let's see. Where did you send it? Oh. Let's see here. There, and there. There. I have to click around like there. I'm hiding a bit of it at least. Thank you. Oh, Junie B. Jones. Thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. You have been around for my channel for a while now, and much appreciated. Thank you so much. If you have text to that, then just write it, and I will pick it up on the screen. Okay. Thank you again for your $10 super chat. And let's see here. Get back to the beginning.
In one January call, Austin Harrouff tells his father, Wade, he doesn't want a plea deal. He wants the truth to come out. His father says, why? The truth is pretty gruesome, isn't it? And then he seems to offer up a defense to his son. Wade Harrouff saying he believes Austin Harrouff was trying to get into the victim's car and they stopped him. And therefore, how these horrifying murders began is not all Harrouff's fault. Listen to this part.
You know, what I believe, I mean, you don't have to say yes or no, but what I believe is you got in the car and they stopped you.
Oh,
Can't talk about
you
it.
asshole.
I think the reason why is they had something to do with why it happened, right? Not just you. They had something to do with why it happened, right?
I was trying to flee out of danger. That's all I can say.
According to court records, Austin Harrouff told a defense psychologist he sensed evil that night. He randomly attacked John Stevens and Michelle Mishcon and started stabbing the couple. Police said they found him on top of Stevens, growling and biting his flesh. And that psychologist reported that Harrouff thought he was half dog, half man. Listen to what his father says on this same call. It's unclear if he's wondering about the half dog theory or if he's still wondering why and if Austin was trying to get into the Stevens car.
Can you tell me anything about a dog?
What?
Dog at the crime scene?
I don't think it's okay for me to say anything about it. Why?
Well, they said on the TV that there's a dog in the car. And hell, I can't figure out why the dog stayed in the car during all that mess.
I don't know, but it's confusing, isn't it?
Wade Harrouff asked Austin if he knew why there was blood in the car, and Austin said an average person could figure it out. Harrouff made 10 to 15 calls a day from the Martin County Jail that week, mostly to family members, saying he was lonely, he was getting stronger from working out and reading books. His attorneys plan an insanity defense in his upcoming murder trial.
Ooh, yeah, okay, that's an asshole. Yeah. 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 Bona fide piece of garbage. Oh. That was interesting. I need to find those phone calls. Thank you, Corn Pope, for assisting me. Yeah, that was really interesting for the dad to try to come up with defense strategies. And looking at it 6 years later, well, it seems to have worked. Well, try to blame the victims of sorts. Well, you try to get the car, they stopped you, and then everything went down. That is... that is scary, actually, that a dad would do crazy things happen in Sweden like this, just curious. Well, I'm not sure we have had any face eater stuff in Sweden, but we do have quite a recent court case where two teenage girls had a gruff with another teenage girl, and so they strangled her and put allegedly, no, not allegedly, they are convicted. There is an appeal going, but took her out to the woods and tried to burn her. Then you have the Swedish-Danish case with this Danish billionaire who with a submarine who killed a Swedish girl, quite famous Swedish girl, a reporter who has been in war zones and everything. And I believe he was convicted of raping her, killing her, dismember her, and drop her off on different the submarine guy. Yeah, he was quite wealthy, I believe. So we do have a few of those cases. And I've been planning on another case about one of the more famous Swedish cases that went really interesting about a Swedish serial killer who confessed while in a mental asylum. That case is really interesting, and I've been planning of doing a series about that for a while, but stuff kind of gets in the way. Well, the story doesn't go away, but other stuff gets away. Okay, are we ready for Dr. Phil now? Yeah, I think we are. We are ready for Dr. Phil.
You said there were two incidences. One you didn't remember about the devil talking to you with regard to your friend. But then there was the time when you said you were getting really serious and your friend just felt uncomfortable around you. Were you aware that you had made a shift in your thinking that was making people uncomfortable?
Not really. Like, I was aware that I was aware that I became more serious in things, but I wasn't aware that I was pushing people away, and I didn't know it was affecting my relationships with my friends, or with my friend.
Mm-hmm. But you were aware that you hadn't been spending as much time with him, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when you were making these videos that you were putting up on YouTube, you said you were doing voices and stuff, just acting silly, because, you know, like people do on YouTube. That wasn't like being possessed or something. You were just acting silly in that regard. But the content that you were putting up there about not doing steroids and that sort of thing, did you ever do steroids?
Never.
Never, ever did steroids?
Never tried it once, never.
You know, I asked you earlier that there was this...
Oh, my bullshit meter is tingling. Yeah. That is 30 plus years of negotiations and meeting people. I have what I call a little alarm bell in the back of my head that tingles when I hear obvious bullshit. Can I prove it? No. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, was bullshit. But Dr. Phil seems to buy it. And apparently, Dr. Phil, well, I've heard so much about Dr. Phil. He's entertaining, but I don't know how much of well, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Yeah. This takes for some... Hop, okay, that didn't take long.
Theory about Flocka, that you had somehow taken Flocka. Do you know what Flocka is?
Is it a crystal or something? I don't know.
What the hell is flakka? I have no idea.
My dad told me it was a crystal or something.
Have you ever taken flakka?
No.
You didn't take it the day of the incident?
No.
Have any of your friends ever taken flakka?
No.
Do you know anyone that's ever taken flakka?
No.
Have you ever seen the drug itself?
No.
Is there any chance anybody could have slipped that drug into your
Alpha pyrrolidinopentiophenoone. Yeah. Those texts must be out there somewhere.
food or into something you drank or poisoned you with it, contaminated you with it that day?
I drank some tea at Duffy's, so I was told. So I don't think they would poison me or anybody would poison me.
Right. Others drank there too, and they had no reaction, right?
Yes.
So when this tox screen comes back, they're not going to find those substances in your tox screen, correct?
No.
And so there's just, and you've heard of bath salts, right? You've read about that and heard about it. Have you ever taken anything like that?
No.
Objection, leading. What the flaming assholery is this? This is a horrible interview. He's giving him answers.
So
Never seen it.
Never seen it. Have any of your friends ever taken it?
No.
So there's just no way that has anything, in your opinion, there's just no way that has anything to do with this incident or what took place. Yeah. You say when you left the restaurant that night, the night of the incident, that when you left there, were you confused or were you thinking straight, in your opinion?
I don't.
I understand why the defense would allow this. I have no idea why a prosecutor of any sort would allow this. Because even if this, I don't know if this was aired or not, but this recording will come out, and it did come out. And this is tampering with evidence. He's giving him answers to think about for later on.
Remember thinking at all. It's like a blur, sort of.
Hey,
So,
David's in the chat.
I don't think I was thinking straight.
MLS Law Show. Go.
And how long was it after you left that you saw Daniel? Was it 10 minutes, 30 minutes, a mile away, half a mile away?
I think maybe 5 minutes from the house. So I don't know how far it would have been.
Okay.
But right when I saw him, I panicked and tried to get help.
Were you running or walking when you saw him?
clear memory.
Mm-hmm. Take me through, and I mean, this is just from your experience. There's no right or wrong answer here.
Yeah. This is Dr. Phil directing him on how to perform an insanity case. I don't get how a prosecution would even think about allowing this.
Just from your experience, take me through the moment you saw Daniel. What went through your mind when you saw Daniel?
That's not Jesus fucking well, I'm already on yellow, but on warning, you're not you're limited in your what's it called? I'm limited in ad suitability. Yeah, I would imagine. That's not questions for TV. That's questions from an actual interrogator who knows how to ask questions. This is Dr. Phil giving him questions that an interrogator might or will answer, and more or less teaches Austin how to answer them. What an ass.
Like when I saw him, it wasn't like a clear person. It was like a dark figure because it was like pitch black outside and I couldn't really see. But I heard his voice distinctly, and like when I saw him, I just got scared out of my mind.
But did you know it was him by his, I'm sorry, did you know it was him by his voice or by the visual?
By his voice.
Mm-hmm. But you did see a figure.
Yes.
And what did the voice say that scared you?
Said, "Hey, Austin."
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
See, there we go. Okay. He
He
just,
said, "Hey, Austin," and I just got scared for some reason. It just like I guess it just scared me to see him. Like all of a sudden, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And it's what you knew about him from before that scared you.
Yeah.
He did.
He's giving answers for a future police interrogation. This is ruining a court case. They should sue Dr. Phil. This is madness. How in the actual F can this be allowed? How in the actual F is this allowed? Thank you, Junie. You know you don't have to. You know you don't have to. Thank you. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you. It's much appreciated, but you know you don't have to. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, he's lost his license for inappropriate behavior with a female patient, and Oprah set him up with a TV career. The only redeeming factor with Dr. Phil is that I know he's friends with Ron White. Or, well, the stories from Ron White on Dr. Phil's boat is very funny. I wouldn't be near this charlatan. Nowhere near. Oh, sorry. No, that one. No, he doesn't break me, but new game. Who is worse, Nancy Grace or Dr. Phil? Nancy Grace's voice. Ugh. And that failed surgery that put her mouth 1 inch above where it should be. Yeah, Dr. Phil, he's dangerous. This is dangerous. Him coaching this person, that's dangerous. This is ruining a court case.
Didn't threaten you that night. It's just him being there.
Yeah,
And what did you say to yourself?
I need to find someone to help me, or like figure out where I'm going.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't really remember what I said to myself. I just remember being afraid and being scared.
So you
this coaching. Oh, and before I forget, Kim, hold on. Damn, did I take that down again? Kim Farnham, a few days ago, gave me $20 through PayPal. Thank you so much. And it was one of these things. If I have a PayPal account, then YouTube doesn't get a cut. I think. No, YouTube doesn't. I don't know how PayPal. I only know I have an account there. That's what I know. So thank you, Kim Farnham. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Is this before or after I took the plea deal? Oh, this is just a few days after he was arrested. Here he is in the hospital bed with Dr. Phil calling him. The plea deal was in November last year, or the insanity plea that worked. Let's continue.
You panicked at that point.
Yeah.
Did you run?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so you ran down that street, and is that when you saw the open garage door?
Yes.
You absolute asshole. You're helping a murderer through an insanity plea. You're active, Dr. Phil, whatever your first name is, you're actively helping a murderer through an insanity plea. Technically innocent. What would be the police grounds for denying him talking to Phil? Because it's an ongoing investigation. You don't want your suspect to talk with anybody but an interrogator. That.
Do you remember when you took your clothing off? Was it before you saw Daniel or after?
Oh, Phil McGraw. I kind of knew that.
I have I didn't remember it at first, but I have a faint memory of taking my pants off at some point before I saw Daniel, but like I never realized that my clothes were off later. Like it's hard to explain, you know?
Right. It kind of runs together for you.
Yeah.
When you ran up into that garage and the woman was there, were you running to her for help?
Yeah. I don't think I ran up to her. I think I just...
Did you run up to her for help? What? Is he actively trying to build pants are prison, but FFS? Yeah, pants are prison, but I kind of keep that within my walls and in my backyard because nobody sees me there, and if they do, it's their problem. Hi, Nanya. Did it have drugs? They did test him for the standard, as I understand, but nothing of the experimental stuff. So it was concluded that he did not have drugs in his system while doing this, while doing the murdering. Oh, and Phil keeps giving him answers. Oh, look at that. Junie B. Jones gifted 5 members. Junie, you know you don't have to, but thank you so much. New members are Jingleberry, Sandra 44, Lorraine W, Lynn Dalton, Erin Hack. A few of you are have already been members, so welcome back. I recognize your names, but a few of you haven't been yet. So welcome to the member section of my YouTube page, which will show you a bunch of videos that are members only. And I'm a bit late in recording new ones for you to watch. But yeah, thank you and welcome. Thank you, Junie B. Jones. Thank you so much. Oh. I need to fill up. Oh. Dr. Phil is a hard liquor kind of person to listen to.
I think I just screamed that, and then it's a blur.
But you think it was just your voice? You yelled?
No, I didn't. I don't think I yelled. I think I just showed up, and she was shocked that I was, I guess, almost naked. But I mean, I understand that, but I didn't know. I didn't know I was not clothed properly.
Right. Do you remember the first thing that she said?
No. I don't remember what she said.
Do you
I just
remember?
remember being yelled at.
Do you remember what happened next?
No. I don't, like, I have some memory of what happened, but I don't remember how.
Oh, you will soon have memories because Dr. Phil is actively planting them to you. Oh.
We got into the altercation or into the fighting. I don't remember.
Do you remember her husband coming out?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And do you remember what he said?
No.
So there's a gap between him slicing up the woman and the husband showing up, where he conveniently doesn't have a memory. Yeah.
Mhm. And you said that you had a machete at that point. Do you remember where you got it?
I think somewhere in the garage. I think in the left corner.
Your dad gave it to you. Your dad gave it to you.
Or something, I don't know.
Uh-huh. Do you know why you picked it up?
No. I think, I don't know.
Uh-huh. And was there a time during this incident that you realized what was going on?
No.
There it is again. My bullshit meter tingled. This is totally subjective. This is by my experience, hunches, and everything. Never going to offer it as proof of anything. I will never put out a video saying that my bullshit meter is correct but it's tingling. I'm just saying. Yeah, this is getting more interesting because I don't believe this guy. Dr. Phil is helping him, trying to build an insanity case. But that answer, I don't believe.
Was there? Go ahead.
Like, it's like it happened, but I don't, it's like, it's distorted. Like, it happened, but like, I wasn't aware of it at the time. Like, I remember, like, at the end, I remember leaving a dog.
Toddly Peep, hi! But then surely this would have been seen or presented to the psychologist or judge or whatever, and they would have seen Dr. Phil was speaking. Not necessarily. I don't remember seeing in that document them having access to this, because I don't think this was a part of the court record. What they had was police interrogations, observations, and stuff like that. So I'm not. Maybe they had. I don't know, but I'm not sure. Okay, so question, what's in it for Dr. Phil to come at this angle? He usually goes for the public outrage point of view. I don't know. Maybe he saw a grift. I honestly don't know. But his lines of questions is feeding Austin memories, feeding him the insanity plea, in my opinion. I saw up here. Old line read. Now I truly understand why the family is so furious with this entire thing. Yeah. It's getting more and more clear why they react the way they did, why they reacted the way they did. Ratings. I'm not sure if this interview was ever aired. Has anyone else ordered those law cards? Did you sing Niklas Link a while ago? I didn't get his card. I'm saying I only have one card that I know of. So that might be a rarity. So it's one in, I don't know how many cards there are. But thank you so much for ordering via my link. I will contact the guy who made them and see if I have anything to collect anytime soon. I would imagine it was aired at some point, surely. And Uniby Jones, I believe it was aired. Okay, I don't know. I only have this recording, and this is the raw recording, which you see by the numbers, because those numbers doesn't show up. And yes, check out Mo in the Deep End at her page. Today she was doing a imitation, I hope, of a Christian church lady reacting to the NFL case and I was equally. I listened to it for 5 minutes and I kind of needed a cold shower, and I'm not really sure why, but I will be seeing my girlfriend tomorrow and I can let's not go down that path. Yeah. Ooh. Imitation, but all these women are real. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I did date a Catholic girl bunch of years ago, and that was interesting because she was very chastity proper when the light was on. When the light was off, she more or less tore my cock off. Yeah. And again, don't dip your dinghy in crazy, because it wasn't worth it in the end. Yeah. That might have been too much information. Yeah. She had red hair and huge personality. MLS Law Show. Nick, do you have any sense yet as to why the defendant's parents were so attached at sentencing? The defendant's, Austin's parents, well, listening to more and more of the Prisoncell-Calls, those were interesting, especially the ones we heard just before this about him the father trying to give an alternative timeline. That was weird. But yeah, I need to find more of these prison phone calls and listen more. But I do have another. I do have the parents somewhere. Their interview. It's about just over an hour when the cops interrogated the parents. But that is for another stream. Boobies. Let's get this those two people out of the way. It's amazing how something so natural just can calm you down instantly. It's, yeah, more than one occasions when me and girlfriend and I'm having a bad day, she just, and everything's okay. Just okay, now my mind is off from whatever I was thinking about, and yeah. What can I say? Yeah. Oh, now you got me thinking of just thinking about it made my problems just went away. But let's bring the problems back in here. Oh, here are those two motherfuckers.
Hijacking their car.
You remember seeing a dog and what?
Saving a dog and hijacking their car.
Uh-huh.
Oh, remember what the dad said in one of the phone calls? He tried to inject to the son in a prison phone call that maybe you were trying to take the car and they went out. What about the dog? And I haven't swooped the entire time. I keep forgetting that. Oh, let's get back to this too.
And then it's a blur.
Right. Have you seen a picture of this couple
Yes.
since the incident?
Yes.
When you saw that picture and realized that these were the people that this has happened to, how did you feel?
That you murdered.
I felt terrible, and I really don't have words to explain how I feel.
That's that tingle again. But that might be a bit biased because I've seen in the chat and I've seen in more a bit in the Prisoncell-Calls. They are more or less not mentioned. Yeah, it's you saw it. I think with one of the previous videos I showed that there was a car with an open door and a dog still in the car. Yeah. And yet you claim to not know who they were when the sister was sending their pictures to you. Lying cunt. I'm already... Yeah, I'm still on the yellow. Yay! Yeah. This can be because he's... apparently he got onto medication once he was in that hospital. So it might be that. Oh, we're halfway.
It's like a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Is it hard for you to imagine that you did this to these two people?
Yeah. It's the hardest thing I've ever gone through, or I never imagined that this would ever happen. And I'm deeply sorry to the family that was affected.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Huh. Again, can be medication of sorts, but I don't believe him. Not for 1 second. I don't believe him.
something like this never happens again. I didn't.
Wait. What did you say?
That was affected, and I hope that something like this never happens again.
Huh. That was an interesting choice of words. I hope that this will not happen again. I don't know yet what to make of it, but that was an interesting choice of words. Huh.
I didn't ever want to consciously do something like this, or I never planned it. I didn't want to do it. And like, I don't know what to say.
If their family members are watching this right now, what do you say to them? Look into the camera right now, and if they're watching, what do you say to them?
I'm sorry for their loss, and I hope
I don't believe him.
find it in your heart to forgive me. And
His voice changes, his eyes don't. Yeah, these are just days after the attack. Let's check the description here. No, it doesn't say much. But this is just days after.
I'm so sorry, and I never wanted this to happen. I'm so sorry.
That was fake. Fake as fuck. That, no. That is him imitating what he believes is sadness. Don't believe that for a second.
It's like a nightmare. I just don't know how to say. I don't know how to put it into words. I never want this to happen.
If Dr. Phil doesn't call him out, he's a fucking moron.
Austin, are you ashamed of what you did?
Yes. I just wanted to let them know that I'm sorry. I can imagine how it must feel to lose such a close relative. And it was what happened to me. I wouldn't know what to do, and I would be so sad. I'm just so sorry.
Did you leave that restaurant wanting to hurt anyone?
No.
Bullshit.
Why did you do it?
I don't know.
Bullshit.
If I knew, I would tell you.
Do you think
What?
Do you think you're mentally ill?
I guess so. I didn't know though.
Did you want to hurt and stab the neighbor that came running over?
No, I didn't have any memory of that.
I didn't have any memory of that. Interesting phrasing.
I only remember him yelling at me.
Well, the report is that you severely wounded him and stabbed him multiple times, and he's critically wounded. And he heroically tried to.
I don't know much about this case either, other than what was in papers at the time. It was written about a bit even over here. And then I watched the Casual Criminalist podcast about it. And then Monday, I watched the victim statements in the sentencing part of sorts, where the court accepted his insanity plea. That's more or less what I know about this. I'm trying to find actual court filings so I can read up on it. So no, I don't know much about it. So this is just watching what has been going on, getting a feel for it, and yeah, this is interesting.
Save those people.
I don't remember. I think
from what I hear, Dr. Phil, he was slashed.
Is Dad there? Oh, you poorly hung fucker. Holy fungus. So he has two people coaching him. First, Dr. Phil. I don't know if those questions was pre-planned. I know in television sometimes they are. Holy fungarelli. So Dad is there, helping with the answers. This is something the prosecution should have done. We need every communication between Dr. Phil and the dad. Everything. Holy.
The liquor bottle, broken liquor bottle, and he wasn't critically wounded. I'm pretty sure it wasn't critical.
Well, I think let's just say he was severely wounded.
Yeah.
Feeding facts to the kid. Feeding information to the kid. Yeah, almost 7 years ago. I don't know where he was held. It's hospital bed. Well, he did receive a few injuries from the dog biting him, being kicked in the head a few times, tased. But why are there no cops there? Why are dad there? What the actual F is going on here? Why is the investigator, prosecutor, whatever, judge, whatever, why are they allowing this to happen? Is he alone with his dad in a hospital bed giving an interview with Dr. Phil? Where are the cops who should be guarding?
Yeah, I don't remember fighting him or stabbing him.
It's all across the back.
Right.
I don't remember how my hands got like this.
Hmm. Well, we certainly don't mean to minimize or trivialize the injuries that happened to him, because he certainly was just trying to help.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm certain that you're sorry for that.
Yeah, I am deeply sorry for him.
Mm-hmm. When you went in that garage, did you drink something in that garage that you found there?
Was that the cooking oil stuff he drank? Or what was it?
I don't want to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't talk about that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't want to. Something from Dad. I can't talk. Coaching.
You had severe burns to your esophagus, right?
Yeah.
And do you know what caused you to go into a coma?
I didn't know. I didn't know at the time, but I guess I know now.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at Dad for coaching. Or it could be a lawyer. I don't know, but the voice sounds like Dad.
And what have they told you caused you to go into the coma?
Whatever I drank.
Okay. And yes, Wade, go ahead. Wade, go ahead.
Yeah.
Psychologists come up.
There he is, Dad, motherfucker.
5 minutes.
Okay. All right, we'll be done by then. You just tell me when we need to click off, okay?
Okay.
You felt like you had some superpowers and that you could read people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you ever remember putting yourself in harm's way by stepping into traffic or anything like that?
Well.
I was just wondering, Tulipip, if it was Dad or if it might have been a lawyer there who was coaching him with what he could say or what he couldn't say. But the only person else there, as I can hear, is the Dad.
When I was walking alone to my...
Can we send glitter letters to this person? Crushed glass is glittering, isn't it? No, don't send him anything. Don't. Well, say he drank something acid or caustic, then drinking canola oil would be a conscious decision.
Dad's house to get my car. I remember, like, like walking in front of cars and stuff like that. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. So, in looking back,
Thank you so much, Jamie, for gifting a membership. And the receiver was Amanda, the True Justice Activist. Welcome to the members section. There are videos and stuff. Yeah, thank you so much, Jamie. Much appreciated.
you recognize that there has been a period of time, weeks, even months, that you have been losing touch with reality.
Yeah.
Oh, and more coaching. And more coaching. This is just days later, and I repeat, how in the living frick can the Florida, whatever county they are in, allow this? How in the living frick does anyone with the slightest sense of justice, with a law degree, allow this interview to happen?
That you've had paranoia, that you have had ideas of grandiosity, superpowers, being worshipped, godlike sorts of things that have gone on with you. And this wasn't something that just happened one night. This was something that's gone on with you for a period of time.
Yeah, I guess so.
And should the courts decide that you were in need of treatment, that would be something that you would lean into.
What the coaching to an insanity plea. And there's Dad in the background. Jesus freaking Chris Christ. Craig Christ. Life of Brian Christ. That's the entirety of their defense. How to coach this kid.
You recognize that you need help and treatment, correct?
Oh. Apostate Amanda. Yay! Oh, you have a channel. Somebody snap her channel and give the link. Go subscribe to Apostate Amanda. Let's finish. It's a minute left.
Correct?
Yes.
You wouldn't resist that, whether it was neurology in terms of your brain, psychological treatment.
I wouldn't resist that.
And you know that your dad and I are working very hard to get the proper diagnosis here, because putting you in a cage and sitting you over in a corner is not going to heal what ails you. We need to find this out.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that we're trying to excuse or trivialize the horrific things that happened to the people that got caught up in this.
Yeah.
We're not trying to trivialize that, but by the same token, we don't want to throw your life away either.
You're giving him the entirety of this insanity plea. You're coaching him into an insanity plea. You lowlifes. You evil. Evil motherfuckers. This is conspiracy. This is, in a legal term, not conspiracy theory, but this is two people conspiring to get the kid out of jail. Holy fuck. Yeah, I'm on limited monetization already, so yeah. 30 seconds. Can it get more worse?
Yeah.
Your dad and I are going to work very hard to get to the bottom of this, and I've pledged that to him, and he's pledged it to you. And all right, so you keep hanging in there, and we're going to keep looking for answers here.
Okay.
And I thank you for asking me to call you. I'm glad I did, and just know that your dad and I are
Evil motherfuckers. And then again, how is the prosecution allowing this? This is days after that murdered 2 people and tried to kill a third one.
standing shoulder to shoulder here working on this.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Bill.
Thank you, Wade. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right, bye.
I'm trying to formulate something No, I have not. I have a video of the police interview with the parents, but I don't have the dad's interview. This might be a longer series than expected. I'm here just trying to formulate an opinion that might maybe not will get me into trouble. In my opinion, speculation. I'm not an expert. I don't have a degree in psychology or psychiatry. I think that kid is a would-be serial killer. I don't see anything resembling a conscience. Again, speculation. I'm not an expert. Maybe it's just me watching a few true crime shows and other things, but I've been around for a while. And for you who doesn't remember, I do have a friend who is in prison until he's no longer a threat to society, which will mean he has to be dying and not walking anything. And we were friends when we were kids, and I saw him walk down a path of drugs, alcohol, and stuff. Maybe he had an underlying illness to that. Of an actual... Once he started to get into trouble, he got more into trouble, and he made worse crimes, and then he was convicted of crimes he didn't even commit because it was easy to put him there. He did this, and the court said yes, he did it, so he stopped caring. And for every time I met him during his stints in prison, his eyes became more and more empty, and then any in the last time I saw him, he had no more soul in his eyes. But I still don't consider him a would-be serial killer. That was a strange path he was walking down. Maybe because I knew him when we were kids, but with this Austin Harrouff, it's my opinion that if someone came up to me and said, we checked his DNA against unsolved crimes, I would not be surprised at all to see other things in his past. Oh, Corn Pop had... Oh, another Yard call. I'll save this for later because I have stuff to do tomorrow and we are already past 2 hours. Surprisingly, not that many serial killers are very smart. So it could just be pure luck. But as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if... I don't know if they have checked his DNA for unsolved crimes or anything like that. If they have and there's nothing, then there's nothing. But I wouldn't be surprised. And just watching him, his demeanor, how my bell is tingling, my bullshit meter. In my opinion, if this wouldn't have been such a butcher, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. If he doesn't care, doesn't that constitute psychosis, not being snarky, genuinely curious? Then we would walk into an area of sociopathy. But I'm... Oh, here it is. This is Apostate Amanda's YouTube channel. Go over and watch your stuff. Okay, yeah, I've talked about him before, but I wasn't sure if that is in the member section now or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. This was Jailhouse Calls interviews. The cop who was almost first at scene, what they did to try to get him off, which was more or less everything, but putting a bullet through his head. Yeah. And I saw this earlier. Quickly think about movies again, and yeah, I will try to get those in my mind. And Murph's Turf. He was 19 when this happened, with his prime age for schizophrenia diagnosis. I know he wasn't officially diagnosed with that, but he was treated for it when first arrested. I know he in the papers from the psych evaluation, it said he was treated for schizophrenia. Yeah. Yeah. Well, in a few days, we will move on to part 3 of this series that I did not expect I was going to do. And that will be the cops interviewing the parents. And we will see what we will find out with that. But just as with... Where was it? Where did I put it? There. Just as with last time in this series, I'm not going to do an outro. I am going to show you Michelle Miscon and John Stevens III as we remember them. Everything tells me they were good people who didn't deserve this. I'm going to bid you goodbye for now. Thank you so much for gifting memberships. Thank you so much for the super chats. It's much appreciated. Thank you all for showing up. Have a nice day. Talk to you later.